Welcome to the Fit Femme Project Alignment Podcast. It is here that we cultivate and gather all who have been through it in fitness, relationships, careers, lifestyle changes, and unforgettable crucial life pivots trying to achieve their most sovereign selves. We're here to provide you with thought-provoking, detailed stories and information from truly fascinating men and women from all walks of life, professions, generations, and modern-day sagas who speak to their rawest, darkest moments that made them the strong, decisive, humble, helpful, healing people that they are today. We ask them to hold nothing back because life is a multi-dimensional pursuit to be stronger, healthier, and more aligned mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Today, we have two extraordinary people with us, as usual. Lindsey. Obviously, we have Coach Lindsey with us, and we also have Coach, friend, lover, Rosada.
We love you, Rosada.
She's a lover. But today we're talking about more toward our mummy audience and kind of like, building the, mom bod, which I kind of actually was thinking about that phrasing earlier because the phrasing dad bod kind of ruined it for everybody, right? So maybe we should change that. Like a flabby dad bod is like hot, but like a mom bod needs to have a 6-pack.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, we're gonna be talking about that, quote unquote. And were you guys? I know we kind of briefly touched on it before, like before you started your fitness journey. Did you ever feel that after you had kids and the baby weight and like you had a completely different body that was just it's how it was? This is where you're going to be for the rest of your life? That type of mindset?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. After my first daughter, especially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You, Rosada?
Yeah. After Mason, I think I was too young with Autumn to even realize. But with Mason, yeah. And then also, too, like that's where everybody else was in a sense. So it was like, I'm struggling, they're struggling. Great. We're all just struggling together.
And I think that's still how it is, just with like the posts I see on Facebook in those fitness groups and just in general of people like, will I ever get rid of this baby weight? It's just how it is. Or I have to resort to, something other than the traditional way of losing weight in order, because this stubborn baby fat is what they call it, which,
Yeah, it's just, we'll go into that. But yeah, it is sold in a way, and I don't understand it, in a way that supports helplessness and discouragement.
Yeah, that's the way to put it.
And I'm just like, good God, thinking back on it and just like, and Rosada, I don't know if you kind of were always like, no, this isn't me, but I tried for a long time to like accept or make myself accept, like, you're a mom now. That's what's important. Yes, you're going to have this bigger spare tire. That's part of being a mom. Of course you're tired. Of course you're stressed. Of course you're miserable. That everybody is with being a parent, but it's important work and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I tried to force myself into that mold for years.
Wait, what mold?
That this is my new life. I chose this. I chose to have kids, so this is my new body. And this, I just have to accept it because baby weight, once you have kids, your body changes and it never goes back. And basically being in survival mode all of the time, always being tired, always being stressed, feeling underappreciated, not having my life together or anything that was really for me, and feeling guilty when I would try to, carve that out.
Yeah.
Oh, the guilt.
That's
like, the big thing.
The mom guilt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The mom guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think it was ever shown any other way. Like, I didn't know very many people who like strived to take care of their health and fitness until their kids were older, or until their kids were out of the house. Like, okay, now I could take care of me. So I never really knew that, oh, like I could do both. I could take care of me and still raise my kids. Like, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. So I don't think for
Yeah,
a
and
long
like
time, no, but it wasn't
no
shown.
normal people, or what I would consider normal people, right? Like, yeah, there would be like a celebrity or something they would show, and also it was like, well, yeah, if I had a chef and a
Yeah, exactly.
nanny and
Yeah.
a night nurse, and then yeah, I could do it, but I'm just me. So I think that was a big disconnect, was that if you could not basically pay for someone to do everything for you, then you just needed to suck it up and eat the leftover scraps of crap off your kid's high
Right.
chair.
And that's not true. That reminds me of that meme that circles around every so often, that it's a before and after picture of Kylie Jenner before she got plastic surgery. And it's like, you're not ugly, you're just poor.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so obviously that's what we're here to talk about, is that, there is a way. There is a way. So what I kind of think it would be fun to start maybe from like day one of mom life. Where should we begin? Like
I don't know about that.
you know what I mean? Like, you're a brand new mom, because like I'm going to be in that boat eventually. And it's like, even though I have had this great foundation built up, I still feel like I would be in a place of like, what do I do? Like, I don't know, because you're emotional and it just, everything is so foreign. So I think having like a place to start and knowing like what to focus on, like, yeah, obviously your child, but at the same time, yourself.
The biggest thing would be sleep, because that's what you're going to be lacking most of. Sleep.
Right. Yeah.
Rest when you can. Um, at least for me, like, I always felt guilty and when people say take a nap, like nap when the baby's napping, I'd be like, okay, that's so easy, right? Like, no, I'd feel guilty if I napped when the baby nap, but take that literal, like actually rest. The house doesn't have to be in order. And the way I am, I'm like, oh, well, the baby is asleep, so I'm going to take this time to, do the dishes, clean the house, do this, do that. And at that time I had Autumn at home still. She was in middle school. So it was like, okay, I need to make sure, she's set, get her to wherever she needs to go to, her after school stuff, all that. So I never even, I took my sleep for granted, for sure.
How much were you sleeping during that? Because she was like you said, in middle school, and then that's a already busy schedule, and then a newborn.
Yeah.
What did you
And
do?
it was just sleep at night when I could, like, and Mason was, I breastfed at first. So it was like we were up every 2 to 3 hours, and you kind of just go through it. Like, okay, I don't drink coffee. So that's another thing, is like, I don't like, it was just, crawling through the day basically.
Oh.
So sleep, I would say sleep. First thing is focus on sleep.
Yeah, sleep
I
for
survived.
sure. And
I survived.
Yeah, not be so hyper focused on like getting your body back. Because I have friends too that I've been around where that's their biggest thing is like, it's just not how my body used to be, and like they're so like sad about losing that. And I'm like, well, you look good to me.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's not going to be the same. Your body is not going to be the same, but it doesn't have to be, like Lindsey was saying, it doesn't have to be this mom bod of like, oh, I have the extra tire and I'm always tired, and I have all the flab, and it's what Lindsey said at one time, like working or waiting till wine o'clock. Like, it doesn't have to be that just because you're a mom and you have kids. Like, that's why do we create that as our title? Because now we have a baby, so we can't nurture ourselves. It just doesn't have to be an extreme nurturing of like, let's hurry up and get back to working out. Let's hurry up and get back to, crash dieting or whatever it was you were doing before, if you were even doing anything.
Right. Yeah. I think I think we all put ourselves in that kind of like category, or a category, like this a stereotype. And I think moms are a really good example of that, of like the wine mom, the I'll do everything for my kids mom, the helicopter mom, you know what I mean? Like the actual stereotype. So it's just like, well, let's pick the best one of all of those, which is like the healthy, fit mom.
Yeah.
If you want to adopt a new identity, that is. That's my suggestion. That's all I have to offer anyway.
I do think too, like Rosada was saying, when Charlie was born, Bella was 6, and
Oh, right.
so that sleep when the baby sleeps, you can't always do that. I don't think that is, for me personally. And look, there's going to be a half people that completely disagree with me. I'm fine with that, but you can't always sleep when the baby sleeps. Babies sleep crazy as hell. I can't sleep when the baby sleep when I have to take care of a 6-year-old. And guess what? We do need clean underwear, and we need clean dishes. And at that time when I was home, that was mostly my job, because I chose to be more of a stay-at-home parent when back when Bella was little. So we made that decision together, and I was like, I actually, surprise to everybody, I do want to make this my priority. I want to prioritize the family. And those things have to happen. However, you're not going to be able to sleep exactly when the baby sleeps, but understand what a decent 20-minute power nap can really do for you. And don't take the little bit that you can carve out for yourself for granted. And I did a much better job on that with my second one. I did, better with like self-care, and not self-care that was going to make me look prettier. Like outside of that, self-care of quiet, like maybe the baby is napping and I don't want to fall asleep. Like, have you ever been that level of tired, like, if you fall asleep you're going to
Yeah,
wake up and be a demon if you can't sleep for 6 hours?
exactly.
So that is when I actually, way back then, was when I started getting into like that deep rest stuff, where you just kind of scan your body and go into a twilight doze and then come back out in 20 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes to like stretch and come back out of that, and doing different things like that did work for me. But also, and you're talking about adopting a new identity, don't do that at all. Don't do that at all. I am a firm believer that God does not randomly assign children. Like, it's not like a grab bucket and you look what you got. No, it's very purposeful. Like, that's your kid. You have the tools and what it takes to raise that child the way that they are supposed to be brought up. You can't do that well if you're constantly trying to be somebody else.
Yeah.
But you also have to notice and give attention and respect to where, again, you innately know that something's not for you, even if everybody else is doing it, even if your best friend is doing it, even if your mommy and me group talks about it incessantly. And really being okay with being just you, and not the person that is surrounded by their 15 kids with their 6-pack abs, and also not being the person that drinks a bottle of wine and a half gallon of ice cream every night because it's the only way they find joy in their lives.
That
Be
sounds
able to
great,
call
though.
things out. Be
Sorry.
able to call. No, dang good and well what a trash can you would feel like.
I know. But not in the moment. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but the moments
listen to me.
after will
Yeah.
steamroll you down.
Absolutely. That's what
Because
keeps me going.
you do need to have better decision making skills. And it's just a good old life hack is just getting rid of that instant gratification as a source for anything, honestly, anything. And there's just I'm like, I'm not happy. I'm not, just wasn't happy. Is that what we're chasing here as adults with kids, folks? Are we still constantly trying to be happy? Because that's kind of not an extreme emotion, but it's not in the middle. And really, like, what is going to bring me and my home and my children peace and satisfaction? Because when you're constantly thinking about, oh, I just want to be happy, especially when you're a mom and you're tired and you're overwhelmed, what does that lead you to choose? Instant gratification. Because that's the only thing that's going to make you happy right then. So again, like I just like looking back in hindsight with it being 2020 and all that jazz, man, if I would have just slowed my mind down and been able to be like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and quiet down all the noise and the shoulds and the shouldn'ts, and really just intuitively like kind of lead with that. Like I remember trying to make Bella cry because my mom told me I was going back in her room too much when she's supposed to be sleeping. Little stuff like that. I would never do that again.
Yeah.
But, it's just, but people do want to be helpful, but maybe that's not going to work for you and your kid and make you feel like you're doing something. What was that?
Something just like glitched and it was just really loud for a second. It scared
me.
Scared me.
I thought you saw a ghost.
You didn't hear that?
No.
I mean, barely anything, but like when you did that reaction, I thought it was something totally different.
Yeah.
It was really loud in my ears.
Nope.
Sorry about that. Where were we? I forgot. Anyway, yes. Preacher Lindsey's at it again. I love it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I love it too. I love it. It's reality though. I don't think I worried about getting a certain weight or getting, I guess because maybe I wasn't worried about it before I got pregnant. That way after I had at least Mason, I wasn't worried about that. It was like trying to figure out the newness of being a mom all over again after 13 years of not having a child. And
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Then being a stay-at-home mom, because with Autumn, I was working, and I went to work and school with her. So I, as far as like worrying about like, oh, I need to hurry up and fit in the jeans and get into workout and all those things, none of that crossed my mind, until I actually like accidentally fell into a mom's workout group. But none of that. It was very much like we're in the struggle. Like this is normal. You're supposed to be tired. You're supposed to feel kind of blah. And
you are,
okay. Right.
Yeah. For a period of time,
right.
For sure. And I don't think that, any kind of big body change is weird, because the weirdest thing to me that nobody ever talked to me about is like the belly's just empty. But like all of a sudden, so all that meat and there's just a big empty hole because there was just a normal sized baby in there yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was freaking weird. And then the matching outfits leaving the hospital, both of us in diapers. I was like,
nobody
I
told
heard
me
a lot about fitting back into jeans and not like, what is this?
Yeah.
The matching outfits. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah. Our first mommy and me outfit was our diapers.
Yeah. Nobody told you about
no
that
one's
either.
Gonna tell. Yeah.
No.
I was just gonna say
but
one's probably
weird.
gonna tell me.
That empty tummy sack was freaking. I hated that. That was weird. It felt so hollow, and then the baby wasn't in there, but it's right here. It was just weird. It was a mind weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I would feel that same way too. Mm-hmm.
It was odd.
Be ready.
Okay.
We're telling you now, Caitlin.
You can't be. Just get surprised.
Well, I'll be having twins, so it'll be
I like your manifestations.
Yes.
That's how you gotta do it. I believe it.
I believe it. I
Man.
will receive it.
Could you imagine
Double
if that
baby.
actually happened? I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't mean it. I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah. Oh, and the
So-
stress level. We can't forget to talk about just the overwhelming
Yes.
stress level
Yes.
of when you have a baby. And I didn't think about it. I got so scared of other human beings. Like, I didn't want anybody to come over and breathe on my babies. I didn't want their house germs. I didn't want their kids to come over and look at my baby. I canceled the sip and see because I was like,
What's that?
ew, no. It's like where you have a sip and see where people come over and bring like wine or something and they
Coffee.
drink and they look and touch your baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cannot
It's
imagine
like
anything more
it's like a way to
horrifying.
introduce your babe to all your like close friends and
Oh, that sounds cute, at least.
It does, but I was like, and so that like it's my first with Bella. I was like, I was what we call her when she gets all worked up, Jumanji level 10. And like I remember a thing of hand sanitizer sitting on our counter from Sam's.
oh wow.
And like you couldn't pass the hallway without being like, "Woof, woof, 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 woof."
Oh my gosh. That's
Wow.
But
I'd be so
but
annoyed
it,
at you.
yeah, and you could be, and I did not. That didn't bother me a bit. But it was also like, and I mean, there's always a new plague. Bella was born in October, and I think it was swine flu or bird flu or something
Oh wow.
going around then, on the news, the little banners on the
Right.
news, how many people infected. And that added to, and look, people are immediately like, she gonna lose that baby weight. When she gonna lose, how she gonna lose that baby weight?
Yeah.
That's real. It gets commented on by like insensitive family members and stuff. Because I mean, I put on with Bella, I think it was like 30 pounds or something like that. It was
Not
chunk of
including
change.
the baby, literal baby
Yeah,
weight.
that's including the baby, but I mean, she was
Oh.
only about 6 pounds something.
That's true.
Yeah.
But then
I put
all the
on
other stuff
more
that's
with
in there.
Mason. Yeah, I put on more
There's
with Mason.
stuff, but it was a bunch of fat too.
Yeah.
I earned it.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. I mean, you're eating for two, right? That's what the experts say.
Nope,
I'm just
she
kidding.
don't eat too much. But no, it was a little bit excessive. It certainly wasn't anything that was detrimental, to my
Alarming.
overall health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't like have gestational diabetes. Of course, some people get that without gaining too much weight.
Right.
But it wasn't anything like that. But that was the first time in my life where I had ever I have weight to lose.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And breastfeeding did not work out for Bella and I. Probably related to my stress level, but also she could not latch. And I had no plan B. I was just like one of those oh, we're breastfeeding. It's what's best. If I'm going to stay home with this baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to do. And so that was it. Anyway, the stress is what I think that people don't talk about that in your empty belly sack.
That's new. I've not heard people talk about that.
It's so weird. I still remember that being like, oh my God. It's just empty. So
Yeah.
empty. Your guts are all still kind of pushed to the side and all that.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just
Rosada, how was
weird.
yours? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it just feels weird. It's just a different feeling. Like I can't even equivalate it to anything else. It feels like you can't say what it feels like because it's just, yeah. With Autumn, I don't remember much. I was so young. It was and so worried about my weight when I was younger because I was I had her as a teenager. I was a teenager. So with her, I didn't gain, they were pushing me to gain weight at the end. You need to gain a little more weight. So with her, because I was so young, I bounced kind of back really quickly as far as weight went. But with Mason, I was I didn't really have, I don't know, I was just I ate whatever. I didn't care. It didn't matter.
Me
Like
too.
all the things that sounded good, it was either you go get it or you were going to have to deal with the crabbiness of not having it. So I ate whatever. And yeah, I gained a lot with Mason. I gained about 34 pounds and he was only 7 pounds. And and then it doesn't help that the last month of like the last few weeks of pregnancy, they put me on bed rest because I was swelling so bad. So, but
yeah, that doesn't
that does
help.
not help.
No.
Jinx.
So yeah, but nobody tells you afterwards.
So yeah, well, as far as like, you know, people listening, I know we kind of talked about it in our notes, but you know, just like some simple like actionables. Like I can relate to you guys where you're at, where I'm at, and I just kind of want to feel better, move toward a healthier body and physique. What sort of plan would you lay out, if you will?
I say I want the first thing that everybody in the world has to know is that your cervix, just the parts that grew to make your baby, it takes 4 months for everything to shrink back to its original size if you're breastfeeding. If you're not, it can take a little bit longer just because of the hormones involved in lactation and all that stuff. So pushing yourself to lose weight and do anything other than just start getting back into movement, right? Like walking your baby outside, maybe doing some body weight, light weight, depending on what your doctor tells you. Pushing beyond that, not only is it not going to help you get progress, you're probably going to delay your healing time and make everything take longer. Patience and kindness to that body that has been through trauma.
Yeah.
And you have to consider it like that. Like I had stitches in my taint. That's not the word.
Yeah, pretty
Perineum.
much. Yeah.
I had like it has been through it, and you're still bleeding for a long time after that, and you have to really treat your body well, rest as much as you can, like for real, but for real rest. Like even if you can't, sleep when the baby sleeps every time because, like I said, it's erratic.
Right.
You can lay down maybe for 20 minutes twice a day. Set like reasonable goals.
Yeah.
What about you, Rosada? And like stress management is such a big deal. Like now, if I was doing it again, I'd be doing like breath work, like serious breath work and things like that to bring that fight or flight that is so like snap. Like when you're a new mom, like you can be sent into a panic
Yeah.
in the blink of an eye. Like I remember laying awake watching the video monitor, just like staring at it. Like you're such a psycho. But anything you can do to bring that down is going to get your body back to homeostasis, which is the only place real change is going to happen anyway.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely say walking for sure and rest. I always say like rest. I just remember like feeling like I was always running on like empty. And like Lindsey said, it's a give or take. Like right, there's going to be times where it's normal to be tired. You still have to live life. You still have to do the things, especially if you have more than one kid and you have more than one thing going on, or even if you have work to do. Like, but walking, yes, getting rest when you can, true rest, and I would say like basics like water, making sure you get in enough water, stress management for sure.
Yeah.
I think I was always with Mason, especially because like I had more time to be hands-on mom with Mason than with Autumn, that I was like trying to be too much of a hands-on mom, where like same thing, I would be staring at the monitor like, he moved, is he still breathing? Or I would walk in there and put my head over the crib to see if I could hear him breathing or watch his chest move, because I was so worried. So yeah, stress management for sure, but basic things like walking, just getting in movement, some kind of movement, getting outside, even there would be days that I would just go sit, not in the direct sun with the baby, but just sit in the backyard with Mason in a chair or something. But yeah, those would be the first things, because your body did go through a lot of change. Like, you have to think about all the things that has to go internally just to grow the baby. It's not just going to be like, all right, the baby's out, we're back to square one, let's go.
Yeah.
Wish it worked
No,
that
it
way.
doesn't work like that.
No.
It does not. Even if you want it to. And I would also say too, if you've got like a parent or a friend or a sister or a brother or somebody or an in-law, if they offer to help you, let them. If they offer to rock your baby while you take a nap in a nap and a shower, let them. I've spent, I think, too much time like wanting to prove something, like that I've got this or that I'm super mom or whatever. And like, I could have had a better, easier time if I would have taken people up on, yes, I would love for you to come over here and rock Bella and give her a bottle and let me sleep and not have to be such a maniac about being in control, doing it all myself.
Right.
I've got this. I don't need it. And I still struggle with that. I just don't have a baby anymore, but I see it in other areas. I don't want anybody to help me. I don't want anybody to see something in my life where they think, "Oh, let me help you." I'm like, "What's wrong?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same.
What am I doing
Here.
wrong?"
Yeah.
It's hard not to take it personally. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I'm not a mom, but I could always imagine myself. I'm like, help. Yeah, like that would be so easy to say yes to. But at the same time, I'm a lot like Lindsay, where it's like, excuse me, I'm not good enough. I can absolutely do this by myself. Move.
I was
Move.
very much
I got
the
this.
same.
I'll figure it out. I don't need you.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but I'll try not to be. I'll call you guys.
I think you'll be. I think you'll be good. And being in a good place, like that was. Even though I've had kids later on in life, I was 30 when I had Belle, and then 36 when I had Charlie. Two totally different experiences for sure. Just like Rosada, like different mindset and everything at that point. Much less stress, but at that time, I was not lifting weights to grow muscle and to be strong and eating enough protein and focusing on that and making sure I got my food in. I was nowhere near that. So the better base you can have and just still go off of those nurturing, strengthening ideologies and principles, man, that's going to set you up better. You're already stressed. You're already tired.
Right.
The last thing you need to do is calorie restriction and freaking HIIT classes.
Yeah.
It's true.
You're digging a hole. You're digging yourself a hole that you're gonna be too weak to crawl out of.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to fall into that. So what about to the moms that are like more established, who have the older kids, who have the routine going, actually this conversation reminds me of a podcast I listened to, the Dr. John Deloney show, where people call in with their problems basically and he talks to them about it. This mom called in and she was like, my kid's baseball, well, it was a girl, so the softball schedule is taking over our lives. We're gone every minute of the day, blah, blah, blah. And she has this goal to, do it professional, but like we just can't, there's no balance. But I also want to support my baby girl's dreams, but also the reality of them, so he gave her this, don't ask me what it was because I forgot, but this really great advice on how to like do it realistically. Like the world does not revolve around you, child, but we still have to have a normal functioning family unit with some sort of balance. So that's what this whole conversation reminds me of. So yeah, to the moms that are kind of maybe more into that routine of older kids and just craziness.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's me.
Yeah,
Bella is a competitive athlete. She's 14, and she practices Monday through Thursday. Doesn't get home till 9 p.m. And she does a lot of open mats on the weekends and competitions, traveling competitions. And Charlie does jujitsu at least once a week and tennis twice a week. And their friend stuff, like especially with Charlie, she's always trying to get a friend here. Can you take me here? Can we go do, always. So it is taking responsibility and just, yes, if you're going to be not eating drive-through food all the time, it's going to be a little bit more annoying. You can perceive it as that. It's going to be more inconvenient, because what's convenient is being unhealthy, is being overweight, is feeling like trash because of those things. So just accept that. But also knowing that if you're driving through, you're spending, fast food's not even cheap anymore.
No.
It's like $12 or something for a meal at Chick-fil-A. You can get frozen meal prep. You can buy steam in the bag rice, vegetables, pre-cooked chicken. You have options. It's 2024. There are so many healthy, easy options. There are just as many healthy, easy options as there are.
Did you just send a photo of you pregnant in our group text?
I did, because I wanted y'all to. That's just 5 months pregnant, y'all. And me and Matt gained an equal amount of body weight.
You do not look like the same. Matt looks the same, but you look not like you.
Yeah,
Matt does not look the same either. He was a great. Well, for the time, he was great.
Very supportive,
he was
right?
Like, yes, let's go get frozen custard. Heck yes, Blizzard.
Yes, right. Oh,
that would be Mark. He'd be the yes man. He's like, I had that same craving
Matt was
too.
Such a yes man. So weird you say that. I would love to go eat 14 baskets of chips and salsa.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I just saw that. Like, that's so funny.
But yeah, so my deal is and I'm even, especially right now, I'm on kind of the extreme end of fitness, Rosada too. So what does that mean? That if the kid's schedule gets crazy, I don't get to do my stuff? Absolutely not. I do my stuff first. My meals get prepared first. My plan gets laid out first. And then I get it ready. Maybe it is steam in the bag rice. Maybe my freezer is full of pre-cooked shrimp, chicken, and red potatoes right now. Right. It literally is. I buy the a la carte stuff when I'm on prep instead of the whole meals. And I make it happen. I get up at 4:45 to do my cardio. I spend my lunch hour lifting. Like, if you want it, you can do it. And like I said, I'm on the extreme end. That's not my lifestyle. I'm getting ready to compete. But lifestyle is even more, is much more relaxed than that. But me and Rosada talked about this. Like, I used to just sit there and scroll on my phone during practices. Now I walk. I done seen them do their activity 209,000 times.
Yeah.
I get steps in while they're practicing. I walk. Sometimes I walk with other moms, which is cool. Sometimes I walk with my older daughter or younger daughter if the other one's at practice. But what always is going to resonate with me and kind of quiet down the noise of, God, this is so freaking annoying. I just want to be able to eat whatever, do whatever, and just not pack anything, is I have 2 daughters. Rosetta's got a little boy. Instead of just telling them, because let me tell you, they get to a point where they just don't listen anyway. I got a 14-year-old. I'm showing them what hard work means. I'm showing them, not just telling them, how to live a life that you're in control of. And truly, you get to a point, and I'm grateful to be here. I love hard work. I love doing hard work. I love performing hard work. I love planning hard work, because I know I'll get it done. And that is satisfaction, not happiness all the time, but I'm peaceful and I'm satisfied. When I go to bed at night, it's like it's a day well done. It's not a day of scraping by anymore, of just living until I can socially acceptable to down a bottle of wine.
Right.
Like, I'm putting in the good work for a good life. And your kids see that. And so your kids don't grow up thinking like, being a mom is horrible and stressful, and I must drink and complain my way through it. which is not what you want your kids to see. You don't want them to see their childhood being like survived because it was like such a hellscape.
Right. No. And I think you had said that before, Lindsey, one time. I don't know which one it was, one of your
Bella,
girls.
I'll
Yeah.
never forget that.
Was like, she doesn't want to be a mom. Yeah. So
She was
those
like,
things
I don't want to be a
resonate.
mom. It's so hard, Mama.
Yeah.
It's just so hard on you. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm
Out
the
of the mouth of
worst.
babes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
They're
are
no filter. They're brutally honest.
Yes. Yes. And same thing, like you
Oh.
have to embrace where you're at. Like if you have a busy schedule, you do have to kind of master that, like, mundane of, that you're going to have to create some sort of routine for yourself. You're going to have to plan the meals and prep the meals or buy the meal prep. Like if you don't like cooking, then you're going to have to spend the extra money that you're not spending on fast food with some sort of meal prep. There's even local meal preps. I've connected with several here in the area.
True.
That like they'll deliver to your home. And
yes,
I tell my clients all the time, like, well, what's your, I'm just too busy. Well, here's 3 names and numbers of meal prep companies that you probably spent more on going out to eat while you were at work, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost right here. Like
sometimes,
you have to kind of master that. And the only reason it's boring is because you're telling yourself it's boring. There's no such thing as boring, as in, great example is like, you're satisfied at the end of the day. Like you checked your boxes, you feel good. Like, do you want to wake up tomorrow and go, yesterday sucked because I didn't eat. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Those shoulda, coulda, wouldas come back. Like, do you want to live that every day? Or do you want to say, hey, I got 4 out of my 5 boxes checked for the day. That's a win.
Yeah, it is a win. And I think you just made a good point about being realistic.
I was just going to say that too.
Yes, you have to be realistic and you have to accept responsibility that you are in control of your life. But also, like, kind of like my routine that I just lined out, if I was like, say, if I had a newborn baby, I was a single mom of 3, working full time away from home from 9 to 5, that wouldn't be realistic for me.
Right.
Like what I'm doing right now would very likely not be realistic for me. So just because you're like favorite influencer or something you heard on a podcast is like, she does cardio at 4:45 a.m. and then she lifts and she buys all. Look, if you just had a baby or you have a baby and you have another child, the first thing you do is, when can I move 30 minutes a day? Just move. And you start there.
That's great.
And can you walk? Can you strap your baby on and walk around the parking lot while a kid practices for 30 minutes?
Right.
Do something little and just start flowing into that. And then maybe, you know what? I'm going to meal prep my breakfast because I keep skipping breakfast and then I don't eat till 1 and I feel like trash and I'm driving through. Meal prep your breakfast and just start making like little steps that are an improvement on what you're doing now. Change one thing at a time.
Right.
And you will start getting results from those little things. It will maybe be aesthetically, maybe be on the scale, definitely in the way you feel in your self-confidence.
Yeah.
And that's what's actually motivating, is seeing and feeling results.
Right.
So that you're like, you know what? I'm walking 3 times a day for 30 minutes. My baby and me are getting outside more. Now I'm making my breakfast, which is super easy. I'm going to steam a bag of rice, buy some pre-cooked chicken and salsa. I'm making burrito bowls for lunch. I'm going to get a lot of protein in at lunch as well.
Right.
Then look, you've got 2 meals in control. You're walking 3 times a week. That's a big difference right there.
It's very relieving too. Like, I don't even have kids.
Yes.
And when I only meal prep 1 meal, just like you said, and it's just so like, I don't have to be like, what am I eating today? And I got to make it fit. And then I don't know. I wish I had this instead,
Right.
And it can be so easy, like your meals do not have to look like these people are doing on social media, where it's like, you can like make, high protein cupcakes and do all this stuff. Or I already put up my cereal. you can use a protein shake instead of milk on your cereal.
Right.
Like, it can
Yeah.
be that easy to just switch something out. That's, y'all know this. It's that's my favorite meal. Is
Cereal.
my Rice Krispies or Rice Chex and a protein shake. I love cereal.
I
And
love cereal.
It fits.
So do I.
I'm about to have that as soon as we hang up.
I think we do, and we make it harder than it needs to be. Like, you can make it super simple, and like Lindsey said, just doing one thing at a time, like, it just changes your perspective on things when you start one thing at a time. Like, I feel good. What was I doing? What did I do differently? Oh, I got up and walked for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, or oh, I ate breakfast this morning, the same breakfast every day, like, or 3 days in a row, like, oh, maybe I should start meal prepping that every day so that I have it with me, or that and it takes the stress away. Like you just said, like, oh, what do I have to fit in? Or like, how am I going to fit that into my, like, what it takes away the stress of the last minute, oh, I'm just going to go through the drive-through, where you have it ready, you've eaten it. Like, we've made food, and yes, like, food is meant to be good, and you can make it good and tasty, but it's not supposed to be this extravagant thing to where you're like, look at my beautiful meal.
Calorie bomb.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we've gotten away from that. Like, we think eating normal is what eating like shit is.
Right.
That's what's normal. Is like, oh, you're not even going to drive through McDonald's for breakfast. Like,
no.
We've just gotten away from what just eating should look like. Like, yeah, every once in a while, you bet you I'm going to go eat like a decadent brunch or something like that. But that's a big treat, like that's special. And if you meal prep your meals and you make sure you're eating a good amount of protein, then you're boring.
Right.
You're a killjoy. But that's okay. That's okay. You just being able to separate yourself and, like, you know what? This is my life, my child, and I got to do what's best for me. And doing what's best for me is going to be what's doing best for my child, because I'll be a happy mom.
And then the sponges.
Number one key.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they're like
what,
sponges.
Rosada?
I said they're like sponges. They just watch and mimic.
They watch and they mimic. And, like, it's so good to see my girls. Like, it was, last night or something, I had on just like a sports bra. I think, I don't know why, I'm always cold, but I had on a sports bra, and she was like, I look strong too, Mama, and whipped her little arm out and did like that.
I love when Mason does that.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. That's so different than, not that my mom was not always like dieting or talking about stuff like that. She was not. But in my, like, what I viewed as a female standard growing up, solely based on how skinny they are.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And my girls don't have that. Like, even my older daughter, like, picked out a shirt and she was like, oh yeah, this shows off my shoulders. Like, something I would have never thought to say.
I love that. I love that.
So cute. I'm so excited to see your guys' kids as adults are going to be like top tier, elite.
Oh, I hope that they're just little beasts, just like Bella. I definitely think Bella will be. Charlie is TBD, but she'll be something adorable. I know that.
Yeah, she's still kind of little.
She's little, yeah.
Well, Bella's little, just tall little.
Bella's 14 little. Yeah, she's still very much a child, but also, like,
I know it all.
She's slowly transferring into womanhood.
Yeah.
Right before our eyes.
Oh, I remember that.
Like, she still has braces, but she drives me places. So it's just a weird time.
Yeah.
Wait, she's driving now?
Yeah. Permit, not like.
Oh yeah,
but right. That's crazy.
That's scary.
That's the thing. Fun. You have no idea. She said to me, will you please stop gasping?
That is
Would you please
so
stop eating
funny.
carbs?
My parents did not let me get behind the wheel until I was like 17. They were so scared.
Oh,
I don't know
You
why.
couldn't have stopped her. Like, I mean, I could have technically, but it was like we've been talking about since she was 13 because you can get your um, permit here when you're 14, and then your driver's
Oh,
license when you're 16. And she was just
that's a little
chomping at the
young.
bit. She's so independent, and I guess you got to support it, but it's terrifying.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
My mom was the same way when we went to our school parking lot in the middle of summer because it's empty. She took me with our car. I think I told you this story before, but we went there and she was like, okay, all the parking spaces have cars in them. Okay, now let's just like kind of go around the park. And I obviously was in. She's like, Caitlin, you're hitting all these cars. Like, hypothetically. I'm just like,
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
much.
It was just pure chaos for like 13 minutes.
It's not fun. It's not. I hope that it gets better. You know what? No, I hope Matt takes this over completely.
Oh yeah,
I hope.
what's he doing? He needs to do that.
I'm
yeah.
with the kids most of the time.
True.
He works a lot, and away from home. So I'm the default parent, which is what I always call it. Like, school nurse calls me,
Yeah.
like sick day, that's me.
Yeah.
Activities, Matt picks up. He's the picker upper. I'm the early girl.
Pick her upper.
But yeah, if it's past 8 p.m., count me out. But yeah, so he does, and he'll take her out on the weekends and stuff. But man, it has been mostly me, and it's okay. It'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
It
I,
will be.
Okay.
I think so.
It will be.
Anyhow, so what are your guys' final thoughts to our moms out there who trying to better their lives physically, healthfully?
Take your time, one thing at a time. Don't be in a rush to, don't feel like you have to be all in 100% or that everything has to be perfect to start taking care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's taking care of yourself. All physical aesthetics aside, it's still at the end of the day health and wellness. It's not just I need to physically be fit. Like you still have to have a right mind. You still have to have a healthy body to take take care of your family and everything else. So one thing at a time. Don't be scared to take your time, and don't jump in it all at once. Like it's okay not to be
Yeah.
perfect. You could start at 25%, move up to 50%, and slowly work your way up to that 80, even 80% every single 7 days a week is just enough. Like to make big changes. You don't have to be 100% all in and and or nothing. That all in or nothing mindset.
That's good. That's good advice for anybody.
It is. My advice to new moms or not new moms, but you have another baby or something where you feel like your own personal health and fitness is non-existent or wildly just there's no way you can do it, is make goals, but have a rule that the goals you make for yourself right now cannot be purely aesthetically based. Like none of your goals are just based on how you look. They also have to have a component of how you feel and your mental health. And so choose things like walking outside. Choose like 3 times a week for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever fits into kind of like your baby sleep wake cycle, if there even is one established at all.
Yeah.
Like make a goal where like it, because that's going to help you mentally, the fresh air. It's going to help your baby. It's going to help you to bond over something healthy, right? And it's going to help movement and make you look and feel better. When you're thinking about nutrition, don't think about just cutting calories just to be smaller, be skinny, or lose weight. Hit a protein goal so that you also consume more calories through protein, which is going to make you probably lose some weight and look better, but it's also going to fuel you better and support growth and healing. So pick goals not just based on losing weight, looking better. Let them have like a foundation that's going to improve you and make you feel better upstairs and physically.
Amen. I love that. I'll need to remember that too. But anyway, thanks, guys. You're the best moms. But my mom's better.
You don't have to say that. We know you love your mom.
Yeah,
you don't have to knock other people down.
I'm just kidding, you guys. I would be proud to be any of your guys' daughters.
We would be proud to have you.
Yes.
Even though you guys are too young to be my mom, right? Yeah.
Oh, Rosada for sure.
For sure. And you too, Lindsay. You're only 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
44. I'm 44.
Yeah.
I'm almost 45.
You're only
Me and Rosada
4
are about
years
to have
older
our
than
birthdays.
me. Yeah. You're not that much older.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a chunk of change, baby. I'm about to be 45.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. We will celebrate somehow.
Sure.
Wait, what day?
May 23rd.
Oh, that's right after your show. That'll be fun.
The day after my
birthday. I'm probably just going to be doing another one. When's yours, Rosada?
My birthday? The 22nd.
Yeah. We're twins, basically.
That's so cute.
And my brother's birthday is the 24th, but we won't celebrate with him.
No, we don't need to do that. I don't know him.
My daughter's is the 17th.
Wow.
We're having a big old party. Big group party.
I'm kidding. Anyway, thank you again, guys. I love you. And thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.